Hello, MGTOW. Hello, men. This is Howard Dare. Thanks for stopping by. So, I want to ask the question, should men still have long-term relationships with women? But before I get into it, let me say thank you to everybody who's been stopping by, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, even donating. I really appreciate it. So, I want to ask the question, should men still have long-term relationships with women? And I'm going to give you my answer, and I'm going to give you 5 reasons why I feel this way. But I really want to get your response to this question, because I think that that's the deciding factor. How do men feel about engaging in long-term relationships with women? Okay, let me give you my answers. Number 5, men bond with women, okay? Women don't bond with men. Once a man bonds with a woman, she can do almost anything she wants with him, and he'll go along with it. There is no such thing as a woman bonding to a man. She might need his resources. She might be unwilling to leave him through some sort of lack of security or fear, but she is not deeply emotionally and psychologically attached to him. It just doesn't happen. It doesn't happen, and it's not going to happen. I'm sorry to tell you that over time in a relationship, that men become more and more addicted to a particular woman, even if it's not even a good relationship. And over time, women become more and more contemptuous of a particular man. So this idea of, the modern dynamic of, gender equality, equal partners, it's disgusting for a man. It's unbearable for a man. It's actually physically damaging to a man to put himself in that circumstance, where he's saying he's the equal of a woman. You know what I mean? Because it's like, what are you going to do? So let's say you are in a long-term relationship with a woman and there's a noise outside and you're both frightened. What are you going to do? Are you going to flip a coin to see who has to go out and look after the danger? Come on. And if you do, you realize what you've sacrificed as a man. You're not the same. And to pretend that you are, it's inappropriate. To pretend things which are unequal are equal is inequality. You have to treat the things according to what they are. Anyway, don't subject yourself to it. Number 4 reason why men should not engage in long-term relationships with women. Given what I've just said, why would you put yourself in a situation where you were bonded to one particular woman? Do you ever see the movie Artificial Intelligence? It's Steven Spielberg, I believe, about a young boy, android. It's actually about a couple who lose their child and set in the future. And the husband works some high technology field and is able to bring home one of the new androids. And it says, part of the instructions, it says after about 3 days, if you don't want to keep the android, turn it off because it's going to bond with you, just like a little child would. And, I don't want to spoil the story for you, but naturally, the woman bonds with the android baby boy. And then, of course, over time, she loses interest. It's not a real child. It's not real to her. This is how women feel towards men in general. Also, understand that the sexual market value differential between men and women is so great that a man being with a woman constantly is subjecting himself to not only all of her contemptuous abuse of masculinity, but all of society and culture's abuse as well. What are you going to do? Are you going to sit around and watch the woman's march with her and agree with her that men have been oppressing women for thousands of years and that they should be punished and treated unequally and unfairly? I hope you know that's what's going on, unless you're one of those men who have already, fallen for feminist conditioning and you believe that you've been oppressing women for thousands of years. How could you do that? You're just one man. Anyway, it's sad. It's very sad. Moving on. Number 3 reason why men should not engage in long-term relationships with women anymore is that women don't respect men. This is what I was saying. Why would you want to be with somebody who doesn't respect you? Look, the male-female dynamic, whether you want to admit it or not, the man is taking the lead. He's in charge. He is strong. He is physically dominant. Why would a woman want to get together with a man that is not physically dominant? What would be the point? Why would you want to perpetuate those genetics? I mean, is a woman looking at a man and thinking to herself, wow, there's a really unhealthy, unfit man. I would love to have his children. That's absurd. So why would a man go into that situation? If a man has to compromise himself in order to get with a woman, then the relationship that he has with the woman is not worth having because it's not a male-female relationship. She is dominant and the man would be a servant. Why? To her beauty? Her beauty is an illusion. And in the case, let us say that, she's a very attractive, healthy woman, right? And the man is very wealthy. Very well, we see this. A lot of men, they say they don't care whether or not a woman likes them or not. And I understand. But for a long-term relationship, it would matter. Right? I can understand why the man, for a short-term relationship, he doesn't care. Okay, that's fine. He can take that hit, whatever. But for a long-term relationship, it would matter. So even the men that are very wealthy and powerful and the women are with them only for their status, you can see that the men become resentful and bitter about the whole situation. And as soon as the woman can turn on the man in that situation, she does. And you can understand why. I mean, it's not even like, oh, this is a surprise. If the woman is with the man because of the resources that the man provides, as soon as the woman doesn't need the resources that the man can provide, she will leave that man. In many ways, this is what our modern gender dynamics are witnessing. As opportunities open up for women and they are catered to by the political class, by government, by the institutions of our society, because they are gynocentric. It is a gynocentric mindset. Women and children first. Women have a hugely inflated self-worth, and society and culture reinforces it. Men have very little self-worth. They really don't know how to hold themselves. And I would even suggest that the conversation within the man's mind is one of the main deciding factors in his success or failure in life. So women just don't respect men. And the men who respect the women or pretend to respect the women respect those men even less. Is it possible that you could find a woman who shared your values and views of the world? Yes, it's possible. You'd stand a better chance of winning the lottery. And that's at about 60 million to 1. So good luck. Good luck with that. Okay, moving on. Number 2 reason why men should not pursue long-term relationships with women anymore is because given the current political and social environment that men are in, it's really dangerous. You have virtually no legal rights. Every institution that you deal with the man is going to be presumed guilty until proven innocent. And even in an accusation. So if a woman accuses you of some sort of sexual misconduct or some sort of misdeed, that's it. It's over for the man. His reputation is destroyed. He will be condemned, socially stigmatized. And then if after 6 months or 2 years he's proven innocent, nobody will care. It won't matter. And nothing will happen to the woman. You could definitely say that one of the things that destroys civilizations is unrestrained female sexuality. It's the truth. You don't want women acting like sluts. And Western women, they don't just act like sluts. They act like aggressive, brazen sluts. They're not just walking around in public exposing themselves and outright taunting and abusing the men. They're threatening. They're aggressive. They're hostile about it. This is hostile female sexuality that we're witnessing right now. And it's socially and politically dominant. Many of the industries based on glamour and respect, sports, entertainment, they're being destroyed by this female victim narrative, by this hateful, manipulative sense of entitlement and resentment towards men. If you want to be a strong and healthy man, why would you put yourself in that environment? You just wouldn't do it. Especially if the man is interested in the company of women, he can have that. There's safe ways to do that without exposing yourself to the dangers of a long-term relationship. Also, be aware that when the woman wants to get together with the man in the beginning of a relationship, the dynamics are in favor of the man. But after the man has gotten together with the woman, the dynamics are in favor of the woman. And it becomes outright damaging to the man's physiology. In most instances. There are instances where it could work. Absolutely. If you found the right type of woman. And as I said, you could also play the lottery. You've got a good chance there too. So given the current social and political environment, a man would have to be a masochist to engage in a long-term relationship with a woman. Okay, moving on. The number 1 reason why men should not engage in long-term relationships with women anymore is that a man in this day and age can have a great life on every level. He can make as much money as he wants. He doesn't have to be tied down to anything. There are countless things that he can pursue in his life. And if he ties himself down to a single woman, he is essentially enslaving himself to an insane, corrupt master that he will never be able to serve. In other words, a man can have a good life in this day and age, but only if he goes his own way. And only if he finds his own way and goes his own way. Only if he is independent of a crazy woman, of an authoritative, overbearing system that wants to enslave him and exploit him for his resources and doesn't care about his well-being. If he makes a contract with that system, it will destroy him. That's what it's there for. It's unlikely that he will even be able to break away from that system, that he is so conditioned, that he is so bonded to that system. It's very unlikely that he'll be able to find his own way and go his own way. This is why the MGTOW message is so important in this day and age. The young men, the boys, are conditioned to pursue the women, to commit to the women, to bond to the women, and the women have no morals or no values and no principles. And society and the institutions of society cater and indulge the women because of gynocentrism. Feminism is the expression of that, the political and social expression of that. But I'm going to leave it at that for now. So let me know what you think about this in the comments section below. And please like, share, comment, subscribe, donate, and join me again, Howard Dare, as I plan to have more content for you. Thank you, MGTOW.